Thank you. This is the final? I think they're in the final or two.
Bonspiel chair, Steve Johnson.
Yeah.
And with that, a very pleasant good morning and welcome to the Bucks County Curling Club in Warminster, Pennsylvania, where today we bring you the C event and D event finals. Of the His and Her Bonspiel. (2023). Here on Sheet B, we have the Ladies D finals. It features Janice Langyanke from Plainfield versus Christy Freeman from Bucks County. It's been a great weekend of curling here at Bucks County, and we are thrilled to have made it to Sunday for our final event of the season. This is our first of two sets of finals this morning. For many of the curlers on the ice, the evening became the morning, and it became the second day. It is the B and D finals occurring right now. On sheet A, we have a B final between Diamond State and I think it's Nutmeg. I'm not 100% sure at the top of my head here. On sheet C, the men's D event final, we have Team Mahoney against the team, Garth Mashman's team from Triangle. Let's just say that sheet is going to be a battle of who is less hungover. Oh man, Jimmy looks like he's hurting, and you can wallow in his pain if you tune into the sheet C feed. And over on sheet D, we have Plainfield and Barry Klein's rink versus Rob Green and his team from Bucks County and Diamond State. I'm calling the action here on sheet B. Two teams that we're very familiar with. It is Plainfield throwing the Red Rocks with hammer. That's the last stone advantage here in the first end. We might shift our broadcast around between the sheets based on how the games go. I'm on the lookout for great shots and projectile vomiting, both of which are a distinct possibility this morning. Later on at 1:30, our A event finals are going to feature Andy Dunham versus Alex Lecter on the men's side of the draw. And on the ladies' side of the draw, it's going to be Emily Pinelli versus Monica Walker. So we're going to have some good matchups, some good curling. Plenty of time to come on out. It is a sunny 77 degrees in Warminster. We have some lovely breakfast casserole cooking. Hot coffee, spicy Bloody Marys, and even Bloody Caesars if you are so inclined. Stone from Jazzy Kerr. It's a nice hit and roll, and it leaves Plainfield sitting 3 at this point. Vice skip for Bucks County, Nancy Garrettson Vanderhoop. And Nancy throwing the 5th and 6th rocks for Bucks County. Being asked to freeze on down to the shooters in the house. An early key shot here. That draw is coming up just a little bit light. It drifts into the top of the 12-foot. It leaves Plainfield sitting 3 counting stones. Plainfield looking to draw a 4th counter in. This one does not appear to have the sufficient weight to make the house, but it will serve as a good guard. And it covers things out. Christie considering her options, very few of them good at this point. Gonna ask Nancy to make some stones fly here. Riding back all the blues into the pile. They're on it right away, Pat and Sue. That over curls and crashes in the top guard. Still the 3 sitting there. All right. Trying to drag that stone just as far as it will go. And it does just graze off the top guard. And it is red sitting 4 counting stones at this point. That rock does provide access to the button for Christy. And Christy Kirchner is going to try to take the use of that right now. Going to try to fire at the stone where Nancy is lined up with and holding the broom. Catch the inside edge and roll right on into the button. This is probably going to be her one, and well, she does have those 2 blue guards to work with later, but right now this is her best chance to get out of trouble here. So the left-hander, Christy Kirchner, with her first of 2 here in the first end. They got to go hard, being encouraged hard. They're going to get down to it now. They're going to make the hit. Are you going to get the good roll in there, right into the pocket, and a nice hit and roll by Christy Kirchner. And it is extremely close for shot stone. Shot stone, what is closest to that pinhole in the center. And it is certainly extremely close for shot stone. I do believe it's plain field by maybe a centimeter. If I'm not mistaken, this is Nicole throwing the skip rocks for Plainfield. This is coming down with a good amount of pace. Trying to drive the blue into the red. It's going to careen off. Well, now it is Plainfield for sure for 1. It's Plainfield sitting 1, Bucks 2-3, Plainfield 4. Now, a couple different options here for Christy. She could play the short raise on her own blue stones and eject the Plainfield counter. And it would probably leave her sitting 3. That might be what I would look at right now, because she's very, very unlikely to remove all of her own stones. Or the shot that she's electing to throw is this draw right and nestle in and nudge on over the pin. A real finesse shot indeed. Nancy on the line call. This is really close, guys. Really close, really close. It's got to be there to get there, though. Oh. That is just a skosh light and wide. But either way, Bucks County has managed to turn chicken doo-doo into a perfectly acceptable chicken salad. And no matter what happens now, it won't be a complete tragedy. Here's Nicole Prohaska throwing the skip stones for Plainfield. Trying to get in there to score multiple points. This one's on the inside edge. What's it going to do? Oh, wow, that's a nice shot. Man, I hope she has a permit for that, because that was a pistol. And that's a score of 2. in the first end, 2-0 Plainfield. This is the third time the His and Hers Bonspiel has been contested. Woo. Big time shot out of Chris Mahoney, get his team out of Dodge over on sheet C. He was sweating some 70 proof bullets there. And he goes directly to his foamy refreshment to celebrate. Now here's Sheila Nickel throwing the center guard to lead off the action here in the second end. That one drifts to the top of the 12-foot. Christie wastes no time and calls for a draw to the side of the house. Now these games are 8 ends and they are on time being final games. So Susan Gantz looking to throw one onto the wings. This Bonspiel was contested in both 2018 and 2019. And then the world had a few troubles between here and there. And this is the first time it's been back since said troubles. That draw proved to be just a little bit heavy and slid on through the house. Now Sheila's going to look to throw a guard on top of the stone, which she started with. That guard is up there, and now with it not being in the house, it is subject to the free guard rule, so it cannot be removed until the 6th delivered to rock at the end. With that in mind, Christie's got to look to use that to her advantage and put one of her own color underneath and beat her opponent to that scoring area. This one is the correct weight, but it's already over curling. And it's going to come right onto the corner of the rock in the house and jostled around just a skosh. Here's Jazzy Kaur. Jazzy, a longtime member of the Plainfield Curling Club, recently has moved down our way and joined Bucks County. She is still a member of both clubs and representing Plainfield in this event. She draws right down to the pile. It's Plainfield sitting 2. Now here's Pat O'Donnell throwing the second stones for Team Kirchner. Pat O'Donnell from Lower Bucks County, Pennsylvania, serves on our board of directors and a great Bonspiel teammate. I can personally vouch for that. That one does come up a little bit light, adding to the bevy of guards in front of the house. So Janice is going to ask Jesse to throw another one around. This one appears to be a little bit narrow, the broom, so it's going to over curl, not make it around, and just advance the pile forward. So it's Plainfield sitting 2 right now, with the angles now starting to favor Plainfield more. That shot stone is becoming less and less accessible. Now, if you're new to curling and haven't really watched too much, have a question about the rules or anything in general, we are watching the chat here. You can feel free to chime on in. The stone from Pat came in a little bit light, and a little bit of a light handle as well. So it's going to serve as a corner guard. Now Nicole holding the broom for her skip Janice, who is throwing the third rocks. Indication from Jesse that's in the top 12, so they are on it immediately. A little lighter than that, they say. And it's going to settle just short of the house. Does serve to protect their own stones. It's Plainfield sitting 2 right now. So lining Nancy up for the draw or the tap, whatever we get, we're happy with. We're on it really, really quick, right out of her hand for sweeping. Line looks really good. They're on it hard. We're going to tap it up. We're going to raise it up. And that's going to be good enough to advance it to be second shot. So right now we have the Hatfields on one side, the McCoys on the other. We have red rock land and blue rock land, it appears, divided on either side here. Oh, poor Jimmy Fannin. Okay. Here's Janice with her final at 2. Looking to guard the tap possibilities that Bucks has. This one's coming a little bit deep, and it's not going to do that. So let's see if Christie elects to tap through that pile. I think she's going to save that for her last rock. And going to ask Nancy to draw into the 4-foot. A little wobble there from Nancy on the delivery. Good recovery. They're watching the weight. It is really close for weight. I could tell that Pat wanted to sweep. That is a really good one. Now tuck it under. Get it underneath the guards as far as you can. And there you go. You made shot stone. It is exposed by just a hair, and Nicole puts that broom down immediately and says, "Let me come get it." There is no mercy in curling. There's plenty of time for mercy when you're drinking a Bloody Mary afterwards. there is maybe only a third of a rock available to look at. Control weight is what's indicated. It is really tight in the line. Past the first one, gonna make it up to it. And remove it from being shot stone. That is a nice, well-executed shot. That is a four-person team shot. Had to throw it, you had to communicate it, you had to call it. It takes a village to go curling. So here's Christie. She's going to try to hit and roll off of that shot stone because she just saw a draw coming, as good of a draw as they could make, and the one that Nancy threw was just about as good as it's going to get, and it wasn't good enough. So she thinks that she might be able to get a skosh further under cover if she were to throw this as a hit instead. So here's Christy Kirchner. Needs this to curl up. It's gonna catch the inside. How much of a roll? Needs more of a roll than that. It is shot stone, but not for long, because Janice and Nicole have a beat on that. And they should have that lined up pretty good. All right, here's Nicole Prohaska with the final rock for Plainfield here in the second end. They're waiting for it to curl. Gonna try walk it over with directional sweeping, and they are gonna make the takeout. So that's gonna force Christie to a single point. All right, so here we come. It's going to be the final rock now for Christy Kirchner. Lines it up with Nancy GBDH. And we're going to have a special guest between ends. But first, final shot against one for Christy Kirchner in Bucks County. Just looking to draw the 4-foot here. Just need any piece of it. Gonna have to go for the line though. This one looks to be a little light, a little narrow, and it's going to be a steal and one for Plainfield. So after 2 ends of play, it's 3-0 in favor of Plainfield. Taking a look at some other games right now, it is 1-0 in favor of Rochester after the first end of play. Bucks County took a single point in the men's D event final. And it was Plainfield taking a single point in their B event final. But joining with me right now from the Pittsburgh Curling Club is your friend and mine, Steve Buffington. Good morning, Steve.
Morning, Dave.
How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Excellent, excellent. I was able to catch part of your first game, even though you were about as far away from me as you possibly could be.
Yeah, we were over on Sheet D. Sheet D, of course, like all the other sheets here, plays great.
And so that puts you in the C final coming up?
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, playing twice on Sunday. This is just excellent.
Absolutely, and a lot of us here were lucky enough to be guests to your club over for Tropicurl just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Tropicurl was fantastic this year. We had a great spiel. All the teams seemed to have a fun time. We expanded to 40 teams because we had the demand for it, and we're looking at something maybe we can do 40 teams next year. We'll have to see how the schedule works out for that.
Well, it is a Bonspiel that fills up quickly every year, and I know a lot of people look forward to it. I think we sent 5 or 6 teams out there, and we've been doing it for years, even from the time when you guys were at Robert Morris University all the way to your new dedicated facility. And how long has that facility been open now?
Well, we opened, great timing on this. We opened just before COVID hit. So we were open for a couple of weeks, and then we were shut down for 3 months. And then we opened back up again, and a bunch of us went and curled to keep our sanity. So it was a fun time. And then we've been back to normal curling now for about a year and a half, 2 years. So this was our third Tropicurl in the building. And we had, I think, maybe 12 at the arena before that.
Wow, that is a lot of food in those roaster pots.
Yeah, for those of you that used to go to Tropicurl when we were down at Robert Morris, all the cooking was done under the staircase outside. Yeah, so the food crew just did a fantastic job, and
with the garden hose. I remember.
Yeah. No sink, no kitchen, no. Yeah, so what a tremendous effort, and yeah.
And you definitely showed us great hospitality then under those challenging situations, and it's you continue to do that in the beautiful facility you built now, which as you mentioned, the timing hasn't been without its challenges, has it?
No, it hasn't. Of course, nobody saw COVID coming, but it impacts everything. It impacted the world, and it impacted the curling world too. So hopefully we're all back to normal, and people are getting out to spiels and having a great time, like we're having right now at Bucks. We try and come here all the time. Bucks has been a huge supporter of us, and we just love coming and curling in this facility.
Now, I know a lot of folks have been made aware of the different challenges that Pittsburgh's run into, especially with the taxman. Is there any update on that?
Yeah, so we had the backstory on this is that we had a property assessment that was way too high. So we've appealed that. I'm 90% sure we've won our appeal, but it hasn't been announced because the county is tied up in an independently or totally separate lawsuit. So that lawsuit is moving forward, and depending on whether or not the group of that lawsuit that lost, if they do not appeal, then we should hear an answer here in a matter of months. Wheels of government grind pretty slowly, but we're really hoping that we hear that we've won our appeal, and that should reduce our tax burden by about 30% per year. So that'll be a good day.
Absolutely. That's obviously a huge nut for you guys. Your taxes, you're going to go down by like 30%, you would think?
Yes. And not only the 30% drop, then we'll get 2 years of rebate for what we overpaid in our taxes.
Well, that will definitely help the operating capital for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
In the meantime, I'm sure that there is a link on your website that somebody could click if they find some money underneath their mattress, right?
Oh yeah. We've got a donation site. We want everybody to know when our spiels are. You can look at the GNCC calendar for our spiels. You can look at our website for our Bonspiels. As everyone knows, the key to revenue is membership and spiels and corporate events. And we're doing all we can on the membership and corporate events part. And the curling community has been fantastic with donations, And we've got a great facility to come curl in, so look at our Bonspiel schedule, make your plans, and come to Pittsburgh. We'd love to see you.
And you know what? We love going, and we want to be able to continue to go there. So get those donations in, sign up for those Bonspiels, and we're going to watch some good curling the rest of the afternoon, and good luck in your final. And thanks for joining me, Steve.
Thanks, Dave. Great to have you.
All right. Steve Buffington for the Bucks County Curling Club, and I just missed something spectacular that happened on sheet D, so I'm going to have to wind back the tape now and see what the heck happened here. Da, 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 da. Okay, watching the action replay of what just happened on sheet D, and you can check this out on, oh, wow. That's one for the, man, that's one to put on the, this is why I should never time Roxy. Tripped over his stopwatch and then tucked and rolled, kicked up his legs, and managed to crouch himself around and do this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle roll to avoid burning the rock. That was a great bit of acrobatics by One More Chris. There it is again. Oh, that's going to have to go up on our wallpaper someplace. Oh, man. Let's see. Somebody get Google Photos on there. Wow, that's it. and the viewership on Sheet D has popped up. Everybody's watching it right now. Oh, man, what a great tuck and roll. Oh, man, so thanks. I want to thank Steve Buffington for joining us, and please do support the Pittsburgh Curling Club. Sign up for their Bonspiels. Their donations are fully tax deductible, so all kinds of good stuff there. Back to our live curling. We are on Vice Rocks here in the third end. It's Plainfield sitting 1 under a phalanx of cover. And that cover got somewhat more desirable. Christie's going to continue to try to rearrange deck chairs here. Here's Nancy coming with a lot of mustard. That is some spicy horseradish mustard that will peel the top one end. Ooh, cause an unfortunate roll to occur and promote an additional Plainfield stone up. In the words of her esteemed husband, Roland, that was total crap. It was clap. All right, so we got Nicole here with the first skid stone for Plainfield. She's going to look to lob a guard up someplace in the 2-3 range, 2-3 being halfway or just about onto the house. Oh, it might be in. Jazzy says it might be in. In is not good here. In gives Christie something to work with. It's not in, though, so that's good. All right, now Christy's going to have to make a skip deuce the old-fashioned way. She's going to have to nail 2 draws right onto the button. And she knows it. She's not going to try to look at anything else. She's going to put on her big skip pants and say, that's it. You left it to me. Here we go. No. Christy's like, I got this. No problem. And trust me, she's turned this against me plenty of times. I'm well aware that's not a problem. All right, first of 2 for Christy Kirchner. Okay, this one's pretty close. The line's fine. This is all about the weight right now. All about the weight. All about the weight. Oh, did they leave it in an orphan? Did they leave it in an orphan? Oh! Oh, man, I want to say they could have drugged that the extra 2.5 feet. Pat was looking very sweeper-ish, like she wanted to sweep. And they were just waiting for a little bit of curl. Now, Nicole is looking to firmly insert the knife and twist it. This one's wide of the target. All right, so it looks like all Christy has is a tap up on the rock she just threw. I'm trying to draw up some sort of hero shot here. I imagine if you could come with parking lot Q weight, you could throw a cross house and then catch both those reds out and score 3. But I can't think of many people would even attempt that. If anybody has a suggestion, throw it in the chat right now. And praying a rosary does not count as a suggestion at this point. It is going to be the tap is going to be the call. So Christy needs to make this single point to avoid this game getting out of hand. 3-1 is manageable. 5-0 is, well, kind of crappy. Oh, that has already lost the line. Is there a secondary shot there? Nope. It looks like she found a little pick there. And that will make the score 5-0 after 3. Take a look at some of our other matches right now. It's 2-1 in favor of Philadelphia. Philly Diamond State over there on sheet A. Tied up at 1 each in the men's D final. The men's B final has Barry Klein with a 3-0 lead over Rob Green, Matt, I wish I was a little bit taller, damp. And Chris, one more Chris, the acrobat. Back on our future game. First rock comes into the house for Plainfield. Christie asking for the corner guard from Susan Gantz. Calling for this second shot from Sheila Nickel to come in to be a guard or come in. It's going to come in and leave them sitting two. And Christie has to ignore these racks. Not going to remove any of them, and she's going to, because those she needs to score, so some congestion is her friend right now. Looking to keep the house populated. Here's Susan. Nancy and Pat on the brush. This one looks just a hair on the narrow side. It's going to curl to the corner of the Plainfield stone. And that's a good position for it right now. Gives something to build with. Now, recognizing the threat that rock actually is, going to ask Jesse to remove it. Jesse coming at it with a good normal weight. They're going to hustle, try to make sure they don't jam. You don't want to jam it. Woo! And picks it off. Removes it. Leaves the two top Plainfield stones corner hooked together. Now, Christie had two options there. One is the one she's electing for is to remove them from the top of the 8-foot here. And Pat has that rock on the way. Alternatively, you could have used them as your friends with them being a little crossed up there and try to work underneath them, but it does limit the amount of room you had to score. And Pat's going to clear one of them and make the other one will skitter on over to be a guard. So it's Plainfield sitting two with now Jesse's going to throw her second. Looks like they're content to guard the scoring zone here. It's going to be really close to where Janice indicated with her broom. It is going to come up a little bit higher and cross their top rock again. really a very similar situation to the last stone. And Christie's still going to go with the same strategy. Now this one from Pat is a little bit wider to start. It's got some room to work. It is going to come over. That's coming over hard. It's coming over real hard. Might make the double takeout. You get the one. Ricochet off. And that's really a pretty good outcome because it does move both counting playing field stones behind the tee line. And a favorite thing for Nancy to say is that those stones will never get closer. Nancy catching a word with her husband Roland on the sidelines. He is playing on the adjacent sheet C right now. Perhaps Roland is saying, good, you throw a shot that was not total crap. Array of choices here, and Nicole and Janice want to make sure they're on the same page. You're in a spot right now where a steal likely ends the game. So you want to balance your approach between looking for that steal and also preventing your opponent from scoring multiples here. And the way they're going to do that is to hit that shot stone on hit their stone on the right-hand side as you're looking at it. And that will eject the lone threatening rock from Bucks County and should leave them with 4 counting stones of their own. And sitting 4s generally accepted a good situation. Okay, they're waiting for it. It's going to be Jesse's rock if it's anything. The line looks beautiful. It's on the corner. And there goes the blue stone. The red freezes to the side. There's a red up front. And they're sitting 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the house right now. Over in the D finals on the men's side. It's Triangle taking a score 2. They have a 3-1 lead over Bucks. Bucks with hammer, sitting in decent position to tie it right now. So that's a good game on our Shade C stream. Nancy being asked to draw underneath or down to the one in the rear. That one's just over curling. Just a skosh, and it's going to end up making contact with the playing field rock, leaving himself fully exposed. And Jazz is going to come get this and sit 5. Hustling hard on this one. It's on and it jams it, so phase 1 of Christy Kirchner's nefarious plan has come to fruition. Now let's hope that her plans are more organized than those of Bernie Sanders. I don't have a pack. I don't have a super pack. I don't even have a backpack. I carry around all my papers All bust around like a college professor. But scoring 2 is paramount here. If you don't score 2, it's going to be a real troubles. So Nancy's looking to draw underneath cover. The problem is it's going to leave a very short run back. Jimmy Fannin has fought through a rather severe case of alcohol poisoning to draw the 4-foot. That one with just a little too much mustard for Bucks County over here. Nicole with a couple shots available to her. She can shoot that port and eliminate the counting rock, which I believe is her first and best option right now. Also carries the added benefit if you're missed a little bit, you're going to make it easier to access. Going to throw this for the right-hander with the clockwise rotation from the center of the sheet out. This is going to have to come with a good amount of pace. Something that Nicole certainly has in her tool bag. She started this one just a little bit towards the center. It's coming at peel weight. Bang. All right, so it fails to make the takeout. It does open things up. 2 different shots here. One is to draw the full 8 and count, or Nancy is offering the option of drawing a little bit under cover and corner hooking it some. I don't mind either. I don't think there's enough cover over on the right-hand side of the sheet for Christie to think that's legitimate. So drawing a second counter open here is probably your best chance to score 2. You could make an argument to draw to the white circle in the area where Nancy is standing now, which would make eliminating both of them better, more difficult. I think Plainfield's going to be okay with conceding 2 here. This one's heavy. Oh, that's probably one place where he didn't want to leave it. He could have swept it. Could have swept it back to the backing there. Now they're lined up for a pretty natural double takeout here. They kind of got caught in between on that stone. Now, again, I would expect Nicole to err on the side of being a little thick on this and making sure she makes a hit, because even if you don't make the hit, if you make a good hit and roll over in front, that's a good outcome. You want to make sure you make contact with one of them. So Nicole Prohaska, final rock on the way from Plainfield. They're brushing profusely. They make the contact with the 1 and just over in front and ricocheting off the second rock. So it will be a free draw for 3 here. A draw to the full 8, we'll say the 6-foot. to score 2. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Right, draw to the 8, too. I'm sorry. Fair enough. That's some strong iced tea. Okay, so drawing for 2 here for Christie. Just needs to be full 8 foot. And she makes that draw for, count them up, 1, 2. A good round of applause from the warm room. And the game shall continue. So 4th end. Leading off for Bucks County, Sue Gantz called on for the center guard. This looks just fine. A little closer to the 4 foot line than they would have liked, but still a guard in play, not a problem there. Sheila Nickel being asked to just bring one in the house. That one sells nicely into the 4 foot. Gonna ask for another guard from Susan here. Pat seems to like it. Oh, it did have sufficient weight, maybe a little bit too much. Making it through the house. And now another draw attempt here. From Sheila Nickel. This one also has a lot of weight. And it makes it into the back of the 12 foot. Here's Pat O'Donnell. Nancy GBDH is back from her union break. She joins in for this sweep. Just short of the house. That draw from Plainfield. Draw from Plainfield comes right to the top of the 8-foot. Gonna ask Pat to dispatch it. This one looks pretty good now. The only question is it going to remove one rock or two? It's going to be just the one up front. That's certainly a stone that Bucks will look to use later. So it's Plainfield sitting shot in the 4-foot. Bucks County sitting second, Plainfield third. As we play in the 5th end of 8. Now the event of the tie of any of these games, we will go to a full extra end. That draw attempt from Jesse comes a little narrow. Does leave the shot stone fully exposed. Now here's Nancy looking to nestle on into it. They got to work really hard to hold the line here. If they get past, they're in great shape. They did, and they hit and they roll over. That's a nice shot by Nancy. Leaves Plainfield in a bit of a pickle here. They have hammer, but they don't have any of the control rocks. And the rock for Bucks is in a very strong position. So Janice is looking to outdraw the rock. This one looks a little bit light. And with it having less than the desired weight, it did curl up into the guard. Looks like a great time to throw the same shot again, in my opinion. And they have come to that same conclusion. A lot of good shots here. And with the added benefit of having just thrown it. Looks like they gave this one a little bit more room, but Janice's stone curled from out here, so no reason to think that Nancy's won't. And here it snaps back. It's decidedly light, but it's going to be an extremely effective guard. So clearing guards is going to be the order of the day right now for Plainfield. You can slash off both of the blues here with one stone if you do it right. This is coming down at a control weight. The line's really close for the slash. We made contact with the first. Ooh, and we're going to stone jam the second one. Does cut Bucks down 1. And now it's going to be a draw to the 4-foot for Christy Kirchner. Lots of guards to use here. Those guards are certainly going to be their friend. First skip rock on the way for Christie. Lions grand. This is all about the weight right now. And they're going to walk that right to the top of the 4. It's a great shot by Christie. So it looks like Team Bucks has their feet under them, and they are gunning at the squad from Plainfield now. Taking a look at a couple of our other games here, all tied up in the gentlemen's D final. 3-all after 4. It's a big old 6-ender for Plainfield in the 4th. That makes it 9-1 in favor of Barry Klein in the B final there. Now here's Nicole Prohaska with the first skip rock for Plainfield. That is all over the guard. Does serve the purpose of exposing one of the Bucks rocks and opening up the draw path. So how aggressive does Christie want to be here? That is the key question. Once again, a lot of good outcomes for her here. This one has a good amount of room to curl. And that is not 100% where you want to leave it, because it's going to give some backing for Nicole to throw into here. But it is a high pressure, high leverage shot. It's going to be Nicole throwing against 3 counters in a potential tie game. So very important rock at this stage here. Here's Nicole with the final stone of end number 5. They're on it right off her hand. Now they say it needs some line to curl. It's got to turn over. And it does. And hangs on to be shot. So clutch shot there for the single. After 5 ends of play, 6-2 in favor of Plainfield. Tracy Marcotte has rattled off 2 straight steals to make it 6-1 in her game over on sheet A. It looks like a draw for 3 available for Triangle in the Gentlemen's D event. First stone from Plainfield comes into the back 8 foot. Gonna ask Susan to throw the corner guard here. Draw is made from Triangle over there. It's a score of 3, so that's a 3-point advantage for them after 5. And Susan has just thrown a lovely corner guard. It's gonna be tight to the house in the 3 position. And sneak its way into 4. Plainfield's going to come right into the 4 foot again. Looking to accumulate a few of their rocks into the house, while Christie still has to do setup duty. It's a great strategy when he had the lead. Certainly serves to preserve it, because by throwing this, men are going to require a double takeout at some point by Bucks County. Well, that one's a little bit shorter than she would have liked. They're looking to make it to the 4 foot, and it stays off the house. Now Christie's going to ask Susan to draw underneath her initial guard. That has plenty of room and needs to curl. Now it takes it, and it's curling hard. Problem is it burned off all the weight in the process. Here's Jesse Court trying to throw the straight tap back. And the tap and the raise are good enough to have them sitting 2. Now Christie's at a bit of a crossroads again. Do you double out those guards, or do you leave them and you ignore them? Do you draw in? She realizes that removing the guards is probably a pathway to scoring only 1, and she needs more than that. So going to ask Pat O'Donnell to draw underneath cover here. The weight of this is beautiful if it finds the right line. They're going to grab just a little wick, and that's going to push it right under cover. So that's a good eye by Christie to just let it nestle on in there. Jesse looking to draw underneath here. This one comes by both the guards and sits shot right now. So perfect weight. They would have loved just a hair more curl because it does leave the inside that stone exposed. Now Christie taking another good look at this. You want to be careful not to jam and make the situation worse. But at the same time, you need to find a way to make it good. I think that feeling like Pat has her draw weight a little bit more dialed in than her hits possibly at the moment. Gonna ask her to draw on into the forefoot and down to the backing's okay. The line's really good here now. Got to make it around, got to make it around, got to make it around. And you're past the first one, you're past the second one, and you're right there to the back forefoot. Woo! That's a big time brush by the ladies there. And Pat O'Donnell's like, yeah, I got that. Nicole tells Janice, well, they showed you how to do it, do it. So trying to return this salvo is Janice. Got to get by there, got to get by the first, and ooh, and that is going to wick on over. That was a big, strong wick, just like a Yankee candle. Now that hole is very usable for Plainfield. So the call is to park one right there in the middle of it. Not necessarily all the way down the count, but that's not a bad outcome. We're on the brush now, Susan and Pat. This one's also curling in hard. It's also curling in hard, and it's going to wick the second guard, but that's in a good spot because it denies access. Oh, man. So we're going to have another little consult here, a little team powwow between Janice and Nicole. Looking at a couple options here. You can play on the two front centers and tip and tap them up. You could quite possibly slash off the two blues that you see there. The object rock being the one in the 12-foot there, and and also you could come around with gentle weight through the port there and raise your own rock up. What shot do you like, guys? Let me know. I'd love to hear opinions on this one. All right, they settled in on a shot. They're electing to try the slash, is coming with a good normal firm weight. Line's really close on this. Gonna be on the top red. Oh. Lee's an interesting angle here. Interesting actually for both teams. Christie could utilize that right now and raise another one of hers in. And that's what she's going to. And Nancy gave the classic "I don't hate it" look. I don't see a whole lot else that's good, really. I think that's where they're going. Now, Christie's going to try to find a way to make this shot without having it suck afterwards. The most gentle way to put that. So bringing down the veteran curler, Nancy, to go through her reams of knowledge. Nancy's answer is generally, what would Glenn Howard do? All right. Nancy GBDH. Throwing about hack weight because you got to move a couple stones here. Got to hold it out to hold the line. Got to hold it out to hold the line. Got to keep it out there. Got to keep it out there. Oh, not quite enough. Still very interesting. So Nicole and Janice appear to be playing the tap, tap, tap. So tap the blue into the red, into their other red to sit shot. That's going to be more tap dancing than Gene Kelly did. This looks pretty close. Okay, you made first contact. You got the second one. Oh, he didn't quite have enough mustard to get the third. Now, Buck's sitting one. There's a shot for three. Run back run back the one on the 4 foot. You got a shot at 3. We like it here in the warm room, but we don't have to throw it. Easy shot to call from sitting here. I make this 100% from right where I'm sitting. That, of course, being a shot that's fraught with peril, where Christy has this higher percentage shot to catch a piece of her own stone that's exposed for 2. Could also just draw the 4 foot for 2. So this is her first. Still trying to set the end up. Oh, this looks nicely made. This looks nicely made indeed. Oh. And the crowd approves. As they should. Now, what answer does Plainfield have? Their answer is going to be to run the ones in the center back. And if this is well made, it will leave Plainfield sitting 2. On the one on the next one, and bam, there they go. And they fire that one back. We got more pistols than an NRA convention right now. So, squad, what do you do now? How do you generate 2? Christie, after taking a look at it, doesn't think there's a 2 to be had. And it's going to draw for 1, needs the 4 foot. She's facing 1, if not 2, Plainfield Counting Rocks. Big shot. This is a must make. Pat O'Donnell keeping it clean. Now they're on it. They gotta drag it hard. Gotta drag it hard, ladies. Gotta drag it hard. Need to see the 4 foot. Need to see the 4 foot with that. Oh. Just a little bit short. Now the Vices will take a look. And they're going to decide that it's 1 for sure. And after advising her skit that it's 1 plus a measure, Chrissy says, well, don't even measure it. And the good friends will engage in one of the great traditions of curling, wishing each other a good game afterwards, handshakes and hugs all the way around. So congratulations to our D event winners. Team Langanke from Plainfield, Janice, Nicole, Jesse, and Sheila. Close enough. And our D event runners up are Team Kirchner from Bucks County, Christy Kircher, Nancy, GVDH, Pat O'Donnell, and Susan Gantz. I'm going to shift on over to the coverage on Sheet C. You can change channels there. And oh! I'm going to change channels over to the men's game on sheet C, and we'll pick up the rest of the coverage over there. We'll be back with the finals shortly. Heading over to the men's D finals. You can go back on our channel and grab that right now.
Everyone needs a beer.
Always called the one.
It doesn't help where we're going. Not the same, Chris. Touch more. Touch more. 2, 3. Touch roll. About the same. Yeah.